YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. What do we have here? Second thoughts on the F-35 from FMS, 64 millimeters. And I think I was a little bit too hard on this plane. Here's my thinking, okay? We had a bunch of people ask us, why didn't you try 4S? Because it was quoted as being a 3S. So we're gonna do that tonight, 4S, 2200. Smash right into the same spot. I wanna check the CG and see how it feels right now in front of your very eyes. And as you can see, it's kind of nose heavy. So let's look at this together, camera crew. I've got this battery. With the 3S, we put it in here so it was pulled back all the way, okay? So as you can see, I've strapped it in, but I strapped it in stupidly. I just want you guys to see this. I'm gonna flip this smart pack over the other way, and then I'm gonna put this kind of right there and see if I can stuff it back like that, okay? That's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna come right back. All right, so the exact same position as we did our 2200 3S for our initial flights. Now keep in mind, this is fixed gear, and so usually I like flying wheels up, wheels down. Well, maybe I need to give up what I like and give you what you need. Pretty nose heavy still, but guess what? I don't have to wheels up, wheels down land it. So we're gonna see how it does on 4S right now. Still feels a little bit nose heavy. Here goes nothing, guys. Safe mode is turned on, and I'm gonna go ahead and give her heck. There's no good place to hang on to this plane from the bottom. As you can see, there's no real great place other than the thrust tube or maybe on the neck of the front of the plane, but it's just, that's gonna be so awkward to hold. So as you can tell, we're in auto leveling. I'm just gonna try doing this where I kind of throw it like that, okay? I don't wanna do a full-on discus launch like this because I feel like they always get out of control. So I'm gonna just hold it like this in the armpit, okay? Full throttle. With safe. Woo! And I barely got it launched.
Oh, man.
So now I am still in safe. Turn my gains up just a little bit. Whoa, there we go. There's the S3X. Boy, that thing glides good now. Hard on the throttle. So now one thing I did off camera also is I thought to myself, what the heck, let's put the rates at 125% in our dual rates expo menu and just see how this thing does, because I'm like, if it's super understable, I'll just turn my gains on the AS3X way up. And so far I can tell you it feels a lot better than I remember, but it's still wonkadelic as wonkadelic gets. So that makes me feel better about our assessment on this aircraft because it needs rudders. Like I just don't have the crisp authority that I want on it. And it feels wiggly. But boy, that 4S sounds good. Look at it. Look at it wiggle, guys.
Yeah.
You just we don't see that usually. There's trying to do rudder trim there. Hard on the throttle. It sounds really good. I hope you guys can hear it. It's kind of quiet. Hard on the throttle. Here we go. So I gotta say, you need more gains than I've got to give. So I'm gonna have to do this unlike I do on most of my planes. I'm gonna have to set it up with 2 or 4X instead of 1X. Or maybe, did I already set this one to 2?
Not that I remember.
Let's see if we can land it.
Okay.
Okay, we'll bring it in here. So guys, here on Brian Phillips RC, we want you to get the most out of your flying experience. And sometimes that means making modifications. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna modify this. I'm gonna click, I'm gonna scroll into, well, we might need to get closer to go to forward programming because that actually connects to the receiver. So we might have to walk a little closer. Okay, gyro settings. I don't know if you guys can see that very good. AS3X settings. AS3X gains. Okay, so roll. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to this and I'm just gonna change it to 2 times gain. That should cut this in half and give us quite a bit to go up on. But then I also wanna go into gains in this mode, which is right here. And I'm gonna turn the roll rate up to 50 from 40. The pitch, I'm gonna turn up, and then the yaw, we don't have anything because there is no yaw gain, okay? So we just doubled it. Now you can stay there, I'll go grab it. Okay. So now when I come out of the menu, I turned this knob back to 50%, so we're back to where we started from, which was bad. And we also increased the roll and the pitch authority by about 20% and about 10%, okay? I'm putting it back into safe mode. I did think the launch was pretty fair. The weird thing is, look at that elevator.
Yeah, I was just noticing that.
Oh, did it get stuck? Let's see what happened, guys. What the heck? That's not level. What the heck? Look at that, look at that, guys. That is so weird. You guys see what I'm talking about? Check this out, come over here. Watch this. Did the receiver pop free? If the receiver popped free, then that might explain why it's in a weird attitude.
They're not even though. The one further away from me must be.
Oh, yeah, that's right. These things were glued on, folks. Oh. And I think on that landing, we must have caught some grass and pulled that back. Okay, so now that that's pressed back in position, it looks a lot more level. But I mean, look at how much, that's where level is?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Unless I just have a heck of a lot of trim in it. I'm gonna go back to AS3X, look at that elevator. It didn't even move. Still moves. Now if I go to safe mode, it should be automatically leveling, correct?
Should be. Why isn't it not?
Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Well, okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Camera crew is gonna come over here to my right. Stop there. Hold this, please. When you look at a plane that has AS3X, the control surface should be trying to reach a level attitude, but I think this one flies with quite a bit of elevator up, okay? So this is all acting kind of weird. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and clear my timer because I don't care about my timer. And that's usually good for when we kill planes. And I think we're just gonna launch this again. Okay. Because this plane was wonky as all get out before. Okay, throttle cuts off. You remember how good that first launch went? You stay right there.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't try to fix it to level. Okay, still in safe. Getting my feet under me. Okay, I'm gonna pull up, go into AS3X. Got it nice and relaxed. Now we're ready to try to fly some. Looks a lot more stable now that we have more gains on the AS3X. Guys, does that not look more stable to you?
Mm-hmm. It does.
It's gotta be something about that $35 million computer system that actually flies the real one.
Oh, is that it?
I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with that.
Only 2 control surfaces is not enough?
Yeah, maybe when you've got a VTEL like that, you just kind of need to plan on going ahead and put some rudders in there because that might cost an extra $7. I'm gliding, by the way. Okay, so 4S is 100% definitely what you need to be doing. There's no doubt in my mind. Put the rates up higher. The Expo feels perfect, actually. It's just more a matter of I needed more gains. I'm in 2X, and now I've got my knob almost all the way up. So, I mean, you could go to 4X and really get this thing to feel locked in.
Wow. That would
because
be
look at the passes we're doing now and feeling it in impunity. When I let go, it does a little bit of wing rock. I'm gonna turn that all the way to the top on the gains. I just want that crisp and cleanness, and I'm not getting it, guys. Almost did a pole dance for you there. You guys see, there's my wing rock. Okay, so I backed it off. 2X, let's call it 85, 90%. And now I don't have to be in the throttle hard. I can tell why I hated this plane on 3S. It was doggy. Now it's got power. There's your wing rock, guys. You guys see that? So what that would be fixed with is reduce the overall gains on the AS3X or reduce the aileron rock. Excuse me, reduce the aileron roll, aileron rates in forward programming. One of the 3, I can't talk tonight, it seems like. The porpoising has totally been corrected by that extra 5% on the elevator. We haven't seen a porpoise. Sorry if I scared you.
No, I just lost it for a second.
That's all right, I was being pretty janky. But guys, I gotta say, there's that wing rock coming back, manifesting itself. I think what I need to do is I probably feel like I can get a little bit more elevator out of it. I get just a little bit more elevator gain, and then I can go ahead and do, and I think I got my trim set up. My trim is just set up in such a way that I've got that nose up attitude, and I have to fight that a little bit in high speed passes, but I can live with it because you do have to launch the plane at some point, right? And look how well the launches have gone. Man, that wing rock is a bummer because it's like, what I want to do is I want to turn down the gains when I'm at full speed or really close to it. Janking it, gliding it. You see it lean off to the side? That's where you want rudder, folks. I want to take that rudder and take that nasty behavior out of the plane when it's not needing to be manifested, okay? So when you do a pull out of a dive, okay? So let's do this. Jank it. I gotta land.
Okay.
I can tell I'm losing power, and plus my timer's not gonna go off because we shut it down.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got enough juice for another blast of throttle or so. Okay, so now we're down. Okay, also the other thing too is when you belly land this thing, you better be prepared to push that elevator forward because that's what happened. We did not have a bad landing on that initial landing. I was kind of conservative with it, but we hit the tall grass and it bent the front of the Televon, tried to break it off. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna swap batteries and we're gonna start over, okay? It's gonna be a good time and you guys are gonna see it, but camera crew's gonna go out here in not the mud, and I'm gonna take this off, okay? Everybody hold still there, camera crew. Okay, I'm gonna go back to forward programming. I'm gonna try something kind of crazy. Gyro settings, AS3X, 2X, we're gonna go to 4X. That's gonna mean I can turn this mostly down, and then I'm gonna go to AS3X gains. I'm gonna go to this, and I'm gonna back that off, back to 40, and I'm gonna put this pitch back to 50. You know why? Because that's probably gonna put us about where we wanna be with the knob about halfway. Now, why do we wanna be about halfway? When I go from plane to plane to plane to plane, I got like 230 planes in here. Half of them are plug and fly or plug and play. So I've adapted an AS3X receiver. So I've got a gain knob here. I don't normally mess with it, but on a plane like this, it's gonna be touchy and difficult to fly. I need to be able to tweak that just a little bit or tweak it down just a little bit. Secondarily, this thing screams, give me rudders. So if you decide to buy this and you add some rudders to those, you know, those F-18 style out at an angle vertical stabilizers, you're gonna have some weird roll that comes with it, but you can cut that out with a mix, okay? So I think really that's gonna give you an amazing flight experience compared to the stock flight experience. And if you guys remember, I decided not to do flaps on this plane because I didn't wanna waste my time. And truthfully, for wheels up, wheels down, I don't think you need it because it's just not good enough to need it at all. I wouldn't even get this plane if you're doing wheels up, wheels down. But if you're gonna do hand launching, if you can get past how hard it is to hand launch, this was supposed to be a redemption flight, and I feel like I'm repeating myself. Even with the higher gains, it's still a handful. But you know what? It's a beautiful handful. It looks great with the gear up. And I brought the gear with you. If you guys haven't seen AS3X, excuse me, if you haven't seen our initial video, the AS3X and Safe has this thing locked in. But even when it's locked in, if you got these big, ugly, honking landing gear on a jet when it flies by, not that these are actually especially bad looking gear, they are rock hard. I just don't get it, okay? If I want a fixed gear, I want fixed gear on a prop plane, something that's gonna look like it's supposed to have fixed gear. Jets, they just need that smooth look to them. And what the heck is that? Oh, we got mushrooms, guys.
Oh, good.
This thing's gonna be hallucinating on our next flight.
Great.
But that being said, you know, this thing is designed to be a belly lander, and it doesn't like to be belly landed, it appears. Also, I gotta say, that thing coming unglued, that was a pretty tame landing, folks, okay? So not super excited about that. So we're gonna swap batteries and come right back. Okay, so another thing I wanted to mention is that this battery is pretty toastadelic. It's hot. So I don't like making my batteries hot for planes that I don't like that much, because that means I'm pushing the limits of the pack, okay? This is a 30C pack, and look at that, guys. This thing sucks the juice out of it, guys.
And I didn't feel like that was an especially...
That wasn't an especially hard flight,
No.
but this thing is rated for 3S. Now, I felt like it had plenty of power, but boy, oh boy, this thing looks pissed, like it might burst into flames. So we're gonna let it burst into flames there if it does, and if it does, we'll definitely catch it on camera, because that'll be cool to see. So, that being said, we're gonna pause and we'll come right back. Maybe we'll see if we can find a 50C pack. Okay, so one thing I didn't show you earlier is I didn't change my travel here, but I went into rates and expo, and just on a whim, I said I want to change them to 125% here. Now, as you know, there's no rudder, but maybe just for good measure, if I ever put the gear back on there, I'll have 125 here too. And I set this setting to 125 as well. I just wanted to see if that would be helpful, because it's so quick and easy. And then of course I can still reduce the rates down here. So they're the same on all three axes of control. Of course, the rudders are not installed, notwithstanding the actual steerable nose gear. Now you could also take the nose gear peg and make sort of a front facing rudder, but I just feel like it's gonna be too big of an aerodynamic change from what this plane would really experience on its real airframe. So it's sort of a waste of time. Now also, I'm disappointed that this pack, they probably do actually technically call out a 35C pack. And also, this is not supposed to be 4S, it's supposed to be 3S. Well, generally, you're gonna work a 4S pack less hard in a 3S plane because you don't have to be on the throttle as hard. So, I don't remember seeing any issues with 3S. So my guess is the power system, when FMS designed this thing, was probably like one of those weird afterthoughts. They're like, oh yeah,
I'll have to fly.
So, we generally really like the FMS models. It's probably one of our least favorite, but I gotta say, watching it cruise by, it's very tempting, okay? So we're gonna try to do that again, and we're gonna take off. This one's just kind of weird to launch. I feel like it doesn't quite have enough power to just let it go. I'm in safe, throttle cuts off. I would like to discus launch it, but it's just so, there's like nowhere to hang on to this thing, okay? Like it's just a flat belly here. So I felt like the easiest thing to do was to just do the like run up and
Throttle.
I was
last time
ish.
Full
I'm gonna
throttle.
launch that way, so I've got some geography at my discretion too.
Okay.
And there's no wind to help either.
Yeah.
So the running like a nerd is just part of it. And see, I'm on my left stick, so I'm on my throttle. I don't have anything.
Right, control wise.
So good thing I got safe. Woo! You guys see what I'm talking about? I jinxed myself. All right, we'll pause. All right, guys. So that was definitely, this was supposed to be a redemption flight. I felt like we didn't give this thing a fair shake. I think we did. We gave it a fair shake. This is not our favorite. I have to glue that back now, which just kind of pisses me off. I hate to blame a plane for a bad launch, except for when there isn't really a great way to launch it, okay? I've hand launched a million planes. I have crashed a lot of them, admittedly. But there, I've got my nose cone screwed up. I'm on 25% more power than this thing should have. And you still can't barely do it without breaking a sweat. And look, both wings are bent up there. Dang it. So all I've got to say is if you want to be super frustrated, this would be the plane to buy, okay? I'm not saying you can't make it do what you want. And if you're an F-35 fan, I totally get it. But here it is, every time you hand launch it, you're gonna have to have that anxiety. And I got Safe on, folks. Safe is generally pretty good about keeping your plane level and stuff like that. But here's the thing, I'm just gonna remind you, if you have a rudder on a full-size plane, a lot of times the rudder is helpful for controlling it aerodynamically. So every time they put out one of these 64mm planes and it doesn't have a rudder, I'm like, why are we concerned about the $7 or $8 in cost basis for the extra rudder? I don't get it. I shake my head every time I see it, because I'm like, okay, so you could have a fully controllable 4-channel plane that does everything right, except you got fixed gear, okay, fine. Maybe you don't have LEDs, fine. But no rudder, come on, man. You've already got the steerable nose gear. You're already using the channel and the radio system.
Right.
So to me, it's just almost unexcusable to have such a beautiful airframe. And I'm telling you guys, this thing is not that hard to make fly good, but we try not to do these like total rebuilds anymore just because it's stupid to do.
And we don't expect people to buy a plane and have to
Just
rebuild
to
the
redo
whole
it.
thing.
Yeah, if you buy a plane and the first step is to replace servos, sorry, don't buy that one. That's our take.
Yeah.
Now, you can replace them, and I'm not trying to poo-poo anybody who does. I'm just saying, from a reviewer standpoint, why are we telling you to buy a new plane if you need to replace those things? So, the F-35 redemption flight went super well. It even waves, hi, buy me. If you do want this thing, buy it from the links in the video description below. There's only one good thing about breaking a wingtip off of a plane, and that is, I'm gonna care even less about this plane, so I'm gonna be more willing to be crazy with it. But the problem is, I wanted this plane to be good. If I bought this with hard-earned money, which I didn't, okay, as do we buy any of these things, if I bought this with hard-earned money, and that was my experience, I'd be pissed, okay? And I'm pissed, and I didn't.
But we used to buy all the stuff with
thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah,
it was so disappointing to get a
so
plane. It wasn't
when
good.
you get something like this, it just tears your heart out. Okay, and it tears my heart out because I love this plane. I want it to work good. F-35 is not on the top of the list for planes that I love, admittedly, but it's still up there. Like, I want it to be cool. I mean, it's a 5th generation fighter. I want to see stuff cool out of it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it looked pretty dang good sliding through the sky. But also, I don't like the fact that it tried to, kill my battery. Granted, we're using the wrong size. We're probably 35C rating is what they recommend, almost certainly. And we're using a 30C. Plus the smart packs, I tell you what, on EDFs, there's just certain times where I feel like they lack that luster. But they auto discharge. I don't got to worry about them burning down the house. So it's worth it to me. Now, you could get a high volt pack and you could fly this thing, but I feel like you might eventually push that power system over the curve and you're gonna kill it, okay? And then you're gonna puff magic smoke out the back of this. Then you're gonna be breaking wings and puffing magic smoke. So all I got to say is this F-35, guys, I'm an opinion guy. That's what we do. I have an opinion. It doesn't mean that everybody is gonna agree with me. I just think this thing is just, I'm over it. You guys probably should too. Redemption flight, be darned, okay? I gotta glue this thing back together and then I'm gonna probably go crash it off camera somewhere. Anything else?
I think we've covered it.
I think this plane is just what we don't have a lot of them. Thank God we don't. We used to do a lot of Dynams.
Right, yeah.
But this one, see, the problem is a Dynam would also go together bad.
Right.
And then it would fly bad.
Then it would fly bad.
The difference is this went together super easy. It was a really easy build. And to be honest, I'm super, super glad I didn't do flaperons and televons and all that stuff, even though it might have given us just a little bit of an edge on controllability. I don't know.
If you're gonna end up belly landing it, you don't really need the flaps anyway.
Yeah, but look at the angle of attack. This thing flies like this. You come in and do a belly landing. Many of you you're gonna end up in a circumstance like that.
Yeah.
And what's the first thing that's gonna happen?
You're
gonna rip the glued surface off.
Yeah.
Okay? Of all the planes you could have a glued televon, fully functioning televator, fully functioning stabilator, however you want to call it. I know there's some people who get uptight when I say the wrong word. This thing, whatever it is, if it's pointed down at the ground to bring in a high alpha landing, as you should, you're not going to want to flop it into the ground because you can see how soft the nose is.
Right.
That was not that bad of a landing. That
No.
should not have broke the wing off. And to be honest with you, all it did was catch tall grass. That's like 12-inch tall grass, guys.
Yeah.
It's not super short. It's not super rough grass. It's fresh. We just had rain. It's not like real hard grass. So what can I say about this plane? If you like the looks, if you want a talking piece to put on the coffee table, go for it. Maybe take it up, fly it a couple of times. But the thing is, you're going to be unimpressed. I'm just telling you right now, even with AS3X and Safe, I just feel like this thing doesn't earn its keep. It doesn't earn the receiver that's in it.
If you're a rebuild guy and you know you're gonna put rudders in it, and you're gonna change servos and whatever,
Then you'll probably get a decent experience. But the thing still flies top heavy. It feels like it's balancing like this all the time, which is just, the stabilizer makes a huge difference in that, by the way. But then to have that wing rock means that you're always gonna be drawing that line between too much and not enough to get it to go. And when you let off the sticks after a fast roll, it's always gonna overcorrect back to neutral. So, like I said, there's just, every once in a while we get a plane that's just not good. I'm not saying this plane is not good, but the way I fly, what I want out of a plane, Plus it has rock hard tires, which I forgot about. So it's just like, it just doesn't check any of the boxes except for how good it looks.
Right.
For one flight, and then you break it.
Right.
One flight, or
So-
2 flights, or 3 flights. I mean, realistically, for the average dude, it's probably gonna be a couple of flights.
So what do you get instead?
Well, you could get the F-16 and the 64. That's a pretty good plane. It's nice. I mean, if you're in the 64 millimeter budget, I would say the F-16 does well. It's a lot easier flying platform. It flies fast, it flies easy. It's a pretty easy build, if I recall.
Did we fly that one on 4S also?
I don't think we did. I think we
No,
flew it
that
on whatever
one-
we suggested.
I think that one is a 4S.
Oh, it is 4S.
It's recommended
okay.
at 4S.
Yeah, recommended
and
at
it was
4S.
good.
It was fine, yeah. So here's the thing, but wheels up, wheels down, jet, fixed gear,
Same.
puke,
Right.
you know? But at the same time, I wanted so much out of this. So whoever's watching this that's making RC planes, please give me an F-35 that doesn't suck, because I feel like we've done the F-35 a disservice with this particular model, because this is the first F-35 we've done. I take that back. We did a couple of like 400 millimeters. I think we had 1 or 2 that were
Maybe
like
one
that.
of those like Chuck Glider
But I mean,
style.
a real
Yeah.
one. And by the way, I don't understand what's going on here. I don't know if we have a mechanical trim issue after that first landing where we had this thing. Did it get pushed? Because it feels like, and we're in AS3X now, not safe, but you see how far down that is? And then over here, you can see it's not down near as far. So, I mean, that asymmetry is just weird if you ask me. And it could be that that asymmetry is causing this thing to not fly well. But I gotta say, watching it glide down the hills, it's going pretty straight.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing a lot of aileron trim. I got a little teeny bit of trim. I tried to trim my rudder that doesn't exist, as you can see there. And then I trimmed this way, which ironically, no, it would try to correct that a little bit. So I wonder if I just need to do a mechanical trim here too. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go glue this piece of junk back together, and I wanna try to save you from wasting money on something that isn't maybe great, okay? You know what we're good at. You know what we're not. This might be one that we're not good at, I guess. But all I'm gonna say is I got a lot of belly landers. I got a lot of hand launched planes that we've had a great experience with. This just isn't one of them.
We just did a plane that we hand launched yesterday, and it was great.
Yeah, but I did have trouble hand launching it a couple times. I had rough landing. We can't talk about that yet.
No, sorry.
So guys, all I got to say is if you're looking for an F-35, maybe keep your eyes open for something else, okay? Because we want to give you the best possible RC experience. That's not to say you can't make this work, but you're going to plan on putting some rudders in, which means you're going to have to add 2 servos. So maybe instead of $7 cost basis, it'll be like $15 cost basis. Then you got to figure a way to get the wires down through to here, which is easier said than done, folks. I'm just going to tell you that right now, okay? So with that being said, we'll be able to store this in a lot less room now
Right.
because of the folding wings.
Great.
All right, that's all you get for tonight. Thanks for watching. Sorry to let down. FMS, F-35. Yeah, come back for more. The camera crew reminded me this is not our flavor.
Sorry.
FMS China glue. Yeah, trust me. China glue. China. Use this stuff in China all the time to hold things together. It's amazing. I'm just gonna put some right here. Here it goes. Look at this, guys. Perfect. You know, perfect. So it's on there. Good. All right. Everybody's happy. Now I'm gonna take this thing, freshly dirtied by your Mother Nature. Mother Nature. Mother Nature. Okay. Now we're gonna just see how much it screwed that up. That just ticks me off. So we're gonna let it sit. We're gonna open it back up. Okay. Then I'm gonna clean my tip because everybody needs to have a clean tip. It's important. Rules in life from Brian Phillips RC. Oh man, look at all the Mars and gross finish markers. Hate that. So frustrating. So now the other thing I was thinking is we're just gonna put a couple of Q-tips in here.
Those are toothpicks.
Toothpicks. Sorry. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is while that's chilling like a villain, I'm gonna actually put a little bit of this in there. And normally I would cram it in there and try to like stick the surface back on, but that's extremely difficult to do. And because it's getting dark, I'm just gonna go on and off, and you can tell it's already getting really sticky. Okay, so now I'm gonna do this surgical precision here, folks.
Yep. Okay.
Surgical. So I'm gonna take this, put the lid back on, lay my sticky tip down, and then I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna hold my finger and thumb, I'm gonna pierce it. I'm gonna pierce it for your transgressions, Brian. That's what this F-35 was. And other things. Okay, so keep looking, keep looking. We're talking about surgical. This is supposed to be a 30-second thing, guys. 30 seconds.
You're at 2 minutes.
Brian Phillips, 30 seconds. We're not quite there yet. Okay, now we know the penetration depth. We know how deep you go. Bite on with the forceps. Pull it back out, okay? Clean and beautiful. Now stick it in with the glue. Oh yeah, wowzers. Oh boy, that's deep. Okay, now we're gonna leave it there. You're gonna be like, are you seriously leaving that there? Seriously, for now I am. Then I'm gonna take a second one. This one we're probably not gonna pull back out, okay? I wanna poke it in here, but I don't know that I can get it. And I may not get enough penetration. So we're gonna go throw caution to the wind, baby. We're going deep this time.
We have bigger skewers.
You saying my skewer is small?
Well,
it's awkward.
If it doesn't make it all the way in the hole.
Well, listen, we're just gonna cram and ram until it goes.
Okay.
See what I did there, folks? Now watch this. I hope I don't get stabbed. That would suck.
Yeah, it's what I'm waiting for next.
What, a trip to the hospital? You haven't done that for a while.
No.
We did that almost last year.
That was. It's not.
Still
It
can't
doesn't
smell.
need to be an annual thing.
Thanks, hospital, for fixing me. I appreciate that. And thanks, Kat, or whoever jumped out in front of me. Caused a traumatic brain injury. That's why I'm so weird. Okay, watch this. I've had enough of you. Get out of there.
Okay.
Okay, now check this out. Watch this, guys. Now watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna stab into the stabber. Okay? I'm gonna just take the little bit of love juice there and just roll that off. And there it goes. It's gone. That's why I love FMS China glue. It is seriously good. I love that stuff. Now, I'm gonna break this off again, and you're like, no, Brian, no, don't do it. Please don't. Yes, it's happening. Because I don't have penetration deep enough to be effective yet, but you know what I do have now? I have a flat spot. And guess what? Now I'm gonna take this tip, and I'm gonna break it slightly smaller. Like, yeah, it's maybe not that bad. There we go. Flat spot, up against flat spot, up against I'm holding you, and I'm gonna force you in deeper. Okay, I need to put the forceps on, bent tip this time. I'm gonna grab way back here, get lots of support.
You do have a battery charging, right? If we need.
There's a battery in here. I barely even launched
okay.
it. Okay, so it's bit on here, lots of support. And watch this, I'm gonna hold like this. This is gonna help keep me from getting stabbed, I hope. Maybe, possibly. Oh yeah. You see how we do that
There we go.
in the USA? That's deep penetration. Okay. China saves the day.
So you're definitely want to order a tube of glue. When
No,
you
seriously.
Order your plane.
When you order your F-35, get 3.
You do actually need it to build the plane.
Okay? No, I'm serious, you do. That's a
Yeah.
good point. Look, fixed. It's like it never happened. Folks, it's like it never happened. You should buy one. It's great. Buy one right now, okay? We're gonna go back out and fly this right now, but we're not even gonna pause because here's the thing. We're not pausing. We're going out.
We're going.
Right now.
All right.
Do you have your sunglasses? Oh yeah, you won't
do.
need them.
Nope, because now it's dark.
So guys, this is what happens. Brian Phillips box, as usual. Then he blames the plane for sucking. Now it's gonna be awesome, okay? And if this crashes, I'm just gonna laugh, okay? Throttle cuts off, safe is
Full
on.
throttle. Don't
Listen,
be a pain.
if I go full throttle, it will fall out of my hand, okay? So I could try just doing this, but then I have the yaw that I can't correct.
No, I know.
That was a lot easier, folks. Okay, I'm out of safe. Dude, if a rocket, like one of our neighbors was doing fireworks, and it went up and blew this thing up in one fell swoop, how freaking hilarious would that
was
be?
pretty funny. That was last night, though.
Oh, yeah. You mean on the 5th or the 6th
The
of July?
6th or whatever.
Okay, so turn down my knob a little bit. I'm on 4 times gain. Thank you, clouds, for being gray. I appreciate you helping me to have a successful outcome for Lockheed Martin. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a little bit of roll. I wonder if it's got to do with the fact that one of my televons is pointed up. Camera crew, you stay where you are.
Okay.
I mean, it's like really easy to fly now. Now that there's a wing. I'm just gonna land it, if that's all right.
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, so here we go. And yes,
And
are you kidding me?
No.
FMS, what the F is going on here? No matter what I do with this plane, I feel like I just can't be victorious. That was a perfect landing.
there's no excuse for that. Every landing you've had with this has been totally fine.
Well, that one
Okay,
was,
besides
the
that.
failed launch
Yeah.
was not so fine.
But every landing.
But guys, what the heck is going on with this crap? I finally get this thing tuned in, it flies well. This is the experience that Brian Phillips RC wants you to avoid. And we took it to the next level. I was ready to be done and throw this in the garbage can. But look at this, ridiculous. The whole thing rips out.
The whole thing.
The whole thing rips out. That was on a perfect landing. I don't oftentimes lose my temper with planes, and you guys have seen it for years, okay? I do get upset with planes. I get upset off camera a lot. But the truth is, when I have a plane like this just really pisses me off. This insults the intelligence of the buyer. I'm not even one of them. Look at the way it ripped out too. It didn't just rip out nice. Like you can't easily fix that. What a freaking mess.
There's
on the
nothing
ground.
else to say.
Let's see how this flies. Guys, there's gotta be a redeeming quality here. Let's see how this flies.
Oh, that? Even that flies terrible.
So guys, I'm serious. Here's the thing. When we do reviews, we're always looking out for your best interest, okay? Second thoughts are an opportunity for us to showcase a plane in better light than maybe like a rushed video, or maybe we had bad weather, or maybe, you know, like we just felt like we missed something. We did on this, admittedly, 4S. We missed that. That could be a fluke. But the wingtip breaking off, the fact that it flies overstable unless you turn up gains to 1,000,000 times, and the fact that it's just beautiful and it screams to be flown like a jet, and then it has fixed gear. I just feel like it's unredeemable at this point. So guys, there you have it. I think what we need to do is we need to make this our thumbnail and say, like that. It'll be like, Brian Phillips RC. We'll just pretend like it's normal.
With one.
Second thoughts. Which way? Would it be like this? Guys, at the end of the day, we seriously care about your success as RC pilots. If after the amount of effort that we put into this plane, it still sucks this bad, you probably don't want it, okay? End of story. Now, the good thing is FMS historically makes pretty good planes. This has got to be one of the worst ones we've flown for them, okay?
Yeah, in quite a while, for sure.
And we specifically do not go out of our way to bash any of the manufacturers because we have good relationships with them for a reason. We want them to win. FMS usually does a good job. They listen to us. They make changes that we recommend. The change I would recommend on this is don't make it. It's that bad, okay? Or make it a little bigger, reinforce this stuff. What is going on with that? And why is there a hole drilled through a structural weak point? And then what kind of a foam is this? Oh, it's like a CA hinge. Look, it's a CA hinge. You gotta be kidding me. What a joke. What a joke. You don't even have a finger knuckle hinge or anything in there? What a joke. I should have known better. But anyway, guys, all I'm gonna say is you're watching this probably screaming, hey, do this, do that. I'm sure you are. We don't do a lot of hiding behind, oh, it's a manufacturing defect. I own up to my mistakes. This was not my mistake. That was a perfect landing.
I don't think it's a manufacturing defect. It's just not a good
It's a bad design. Yeah, it's not a defect. It's a bad design. And this, how many flights do we have? 5? 4?
4 or 5?
Maybe 5. We might have done 3 on maidens.
Not more than 5.
So let's call it 5 to be safe, maybe 6. Okay, 6 to be fair. Do you think 6 flights is fair to amortize the cost of a plane?
Not so much.
No, it's not, okay? I got guys that are flying planes hundreds of times. Maybe not a 64 millimeter hand launch belly lander, but the truth is, we've gotten past this, guys. We deserve better, okay? FMS, we love you still. Trust us. It's just, this did not work, okay? Come back for more, guys. If you want the truth, the full truth, and nothing but the truth, come to Brian Phillips RC. And no, I don't turn my hat backward and act like some weird fool. I'm just gonna act like a normal fool all the time. I'm Brian Phillips RC. Stay tuned. That's right. Camera Crew says, if you want to buy this from the links in the video description, you can. Or you go to brianphillipsrc.com, you can see another plane you like better. And then when you see that, you can buy that one. If you want to buy this one, fine. We got links to it. We got links to the battery used. We got links to the receiver reused. All that stuff is always available. If you disagree with my findings or my assessment, it's nothing personal, I promise. And the thing is, FMS, you make a good plane. I don't know what happened with this one. It just didn't work well, okay? And we gave it a good college try, I would say, okay? So now, on the flip side of that, if you want to support us still, but you don't want this thing, Patreon for monthly support, YouTube members for monthly support, YouTube super thanks for one time, and then PayPal for one time. The lowest fees would be on PayPal, friends and family, just so you know. But we firmly believe the best thing to do is to buy amazing aircraft. Maybe not this one. But the truth is, if you want to try to modify it, the only thing you might do different is you might take that receiver, and instead of an AR-630, maybe you'll plop in a little bigger channel. You know, we've got one channel free in there. Channel 6 we're not even using. So it gives you another channel for the rudders.
Right.
If you want. But you're already using the rudder channel for the steerable nose gear, folks. So you technically don't even really need to add that. So I don't know, guys. Sorry, I don't mean to let down. And truth is, I feel like I let you down when a plane doesn't come out of the box as good as I want it to. I just don't think this one did. All right, that's what we do though. So remember that. Don't punish the messenger, please. Thanks for watching. Come back for more.